All right.
Hello,
Welcome
world.
back to
Welcome
Win in
back.
the Wild. Who's going to read the recap today?
Ooh,
I'll do it.
Cue up
That's
some
mine.
music. All right.
Austin. All right. The party found Horace.
Some dramatic
party
music.
found Horace's cabin
party.
ablaze. Yeah. The party found Horace's cabin ablaze and immediately started investigating. Almyre found a fairy named Spermantha hiding in a nearby fern. Jay introduced himself, handing him Spermantha a juicy peach. She takes it and tells that she saw some oily-looking goblins run off to the woods behind the cabin. Ka, still appearing as Shota, tracked the oil into the woods. Before they took off, the house's blaze had calmed down. Horace went through his home one last time, found the remnants of a necklace his father had made, a silver chain that once held a small wooden tree he carved for his son. Horace vowed revenge. They followed the oil to a rock formation deep in the forest, finding an indentation in the rocks. In the alcove, there are several holes, about the size of a hand. The party takes turns slicking their hands in the holes, finding several rats and spiders, but also a very handy ring of healing word. They eventually located the button that opened the huge stone door into Moss Hollow. They ventured into the cave, illuminated faintly by fireflies and luminescent shrooms. They lit torches and went deeper, finding an oily sheen on a small stream. Jeatz cast-shaped water to take the party to the other side of the cavern, but Almyre noticed there's a small, secret underwater passage. Jeatz burned off the oil in the water, burning himself in the conflagration. This freed them, however, to explore the secret cavern. Horace volunteered, finding a chest inside. It contained a pair of fine gloves and a vial of something he wasn't able to make out. He tried to venture through the other side, but the stream was 14 feet and it snuffed his torch. After crossing the stream... Avery, you son of a bitch. After crossing the stream, they were ambushed by a group of shrubs.
I couldn't help
They made
myself.
quick work of them. Horace honed his shrub shaping abilities while Ka finished them off with a sneaky, hardy attack. After the battle, Horace picked a mushroom and it decayed unusually quickly. They continued forth and arrived at a fork where Ka and Jeatz took the smaller path. They both subtly changed, using their changeling abilities to fit through the small path, but both still somehow didn't suspect one another. On the other path, Almyre and Horace came amongst the boggles named Unger. Horace walks away, and behind him, Almyre throws a lit torch at Unger, who's covered in oil. Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
The four met across the stream. Despite being smaller, Ka and Jeatz were still able to escape suspicion. At the end of the cave, they see two boggles and an awakened tree arguing back and forth, which I don't think Almyre has noticed us yet.
No, I don't think so.
If I remember correctly. Okay. The boggles are just asking for more favor, but the tree twig told them to leave them as they had been paid already. Despite intuiting that the tree is likely not allied with the dryads, Jeatz ready to cast Chaos Bolt. I also would like to say my eyes have changed red with anger.
Okay. Well, that's where we are now. So I will have everyone roll initiative, and I will give. I guess I don't know if I want to give surprise round. I'm a little iffy on that at the moment. I do suppose that. Jeatz, I'll give you a surprise round, since you're going first, but then we'll kick it off with initiative from the top. Okay. Jeatz, at the end of the last session, I had... Sorry, I'm also trying to cue music here. I'm juggling several balls.
Hot.
Very. Okay. Play... Repeat, shuffle. Okay, so Jeatz, I will give you a surprise round, so you basically are going to get a whole turn, and then we'll start with everyone. But before that, everyone, let's go ahead and roll initiative. So, what you guys are seeing is Mud and Kunk, these two other boggles, are arguing with Tree Twig. They want more favor because the house that they burned down is a human's, and they are fearful that a human is going to come hunt them down for burning down the house. Tree Twig said, "Sorry, you've been paid for your services, now go away." Essentially is what's going on. So, with that said, everyone, let's go ahead and roll initiative.
You got a 5. So basically, we're starting initiative one person early.
All right. Everyone else?
9.
All right.
Dean.
Jeatz, I'm going to give you a 6 because Tree Twig also got a 5, but your dex is definitely higher.
Okay.
Kai, you got a 9.
Yes.
Horace, that was a 15. 16. Almyre?
26.
26. Holy shit.
Good for
How?
you. I'm still going before you, bitch. I'm just kidding.
I have a +6 and I rolled a natural 20.
How do you have a plus? Is it your Chronurgy gives you a bonus to initiative? Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes, I'm a time wizard.
I'm a bloody time wizard. All right. So, Jeatz, go ahead and take your turn, and then we'll start with Almyre.
Okay, I think that Jeatz hears... Red eyes. Thank you, Black Dragon. Jeatz hears, like, this exchange, and it's clear to Jeatz that both parties played a role in destroying this man's house, who... justified. I mean, I think he's justified in being angry. While he doesn't know Horace, he doesn't understand why like someone would just burn someone's house down like that. So he's gonna take a step forward and he's gonna cast Chaos Bolt at a first level on Tree Twig. With his eyes turning red from anger. That's
Right.
a 19.
19 will definitely hit.
Okay.
Who are you hitting?
Tree Twig.
Okay.
Jeatz, while you're calculating your damage, as you cast Chaos Bolt, this arcane streak of energy leaves your hand, flies right over Mud's head and right into Tree Twig. But as it passes over this little pool that you guys are in front of, all of a sudden this room lights up with this blue arcane energy as this streak of blue light just erupts in the middle of this pool right here and just lights up this room in its entirety.
Oh, cool. That's gonna be... I was listening to you and not calculating damage. 15. 15. I'm gonna go with lightning damage.
All right. Excellent. You strike Tree Twig in the chest with this lightning damage, and he takes a step back and says, "Oh, who was that? Oh, there must be intruders. Who are you?" You hear Tree Twig shout.
I think the normally soft-spoken Jeatz is gonna yell, "Why would you destroy someone's home like that?"
The Tree Twig responds, "I was asked to. Mudkunk, please help."
What? We don't know you fucking thing, Tree Twig. It's a fucking humans. I told you they'd come.
And with that, we will go to Almyra's turn.
Okay, so from Almyra's point of view, I probably can't see Jeatz casting, can I?
Does Chaos Bolt have a verbal component? You probably
Yes. Also, it's lightning damage, so I'd imagine there's some kind of crack.
That's true.
It's
yeah.
verbal.
Yeah, so
it's verbal
definitely
and
some crack.
somatic.
Yeah, so Almyra, you're a wizard, so you know that this is definitely the words to a spell.
I also just screamed, "Why would you do that?"
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I wouldn't have seen you like necessarily cast it, but once I see everything light up, you scream that, and Tree Twig start talking back, just being like, oh, we're fighting. And so I will move around Horace here and go 5. Ooh, is this just water? I can't. Ooh, interesting.
You can jump over it.
I could, or is there an oily sheen on the top of this water as well?
Yes, there is. Yeah, you see the arcane. You are standing here next to Horace, and you look over to your right through this little corridor, and you see this arcane, this blue light glowing from the bottom of this pool, and it's like reflecting off of like the rainbowy surface that's on the water.
In that case, I'm gonna try to get like a better view over here.
Okay. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check to not fall into the water, since you're really pushing it by looking there.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Where are we at? +2 or +1? Go +2. That's going to be a 6. Ooh, I'm in the water.
All right, yeah. So, Almyre, as you're trying to scoot along to get a better look into this more open area, you slip and fall into the water. Give me a D20 roll. We'll say with advantage because we're going to take the higher one, because as we established in the last session, this pool can get very deep very quickly. Actually, no, never mind. You're far enough away from where Horace was. Never mind. Just roll a flat D20. I thought we were right next to where it was 14 feet deep.
Flat D20?
Yeah. And that's how many feet deep it is. 5. Okay. It's only 5 feet deep, but I don't know how tall your character is, but I imagine that's probably like maybe up to your shoulders, unless you're.
Oh, it's probably eyeballs. So I'm going to, let's say I slipped in there, move across and just try to hop out on the other side.
Okay, that works. I won't have you roll again, but that definitely is going to cost you all of your movement to get up out of the water.
That is fair.
Just for flavor, if I can, Shota's going to come help pull Almyre out of the water there.
The boggles do have a turn left. Yeah, so it'll be Almyre and then Ka. Yeah, you've got to wait your turn. I mean, if you want to move over there or move back, I don't. Yeah. I don't mind you saying you want to help out.
Yeah.
Or if you want to say you use like your mage hand, right? Because I think Arcane Tricksters get the mage hand cantrip.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Purely flavor, if you want to use your mage.
You want to try to add flavor here at this point, Reed? How about no?
New flavor.
And in that case, I will be. Let's see what we're gonna do here. What's my bonus actions? Ooh. Yeah, we'll wait on that. I'm going to cast Witch Bolt at first level. With 30 feet. It'll be centered. I don't know if I can.
You have to. I think you've got to target a specific creature with Witch Bolt.
Yeah, it's going to be Kunk. Target Kunk.
Okay. All right. Roll me that attack. Yeah.
I failed my wild magic.
Oh no.
Oh shit! We never. Oh fuck! I forgot.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so Almyre before. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine since you were technically out of initiative.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a natural 1, so it didn't hit.
Okay.
But it's still up in the air, so I could hit again.
So you can roll another attack. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jeatz, your eyes go red as you cast your Chaos Bolt, and you feel... Excuse me. Oh my God. You feel Pascal on your shoulder start to vibrate with arcane energy. Go ahead and roll me that arcane...
Holy shit. Is
burst.
Pascal my
D100.
my arcane burst? Hell yeah. Let me find my D10.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to flavor it as, because I think when you met Pascal, that was what I tried to flavor the Wild Magic Surge as.
Oh no, there's a potential for more boggles. All right, D100. 35. I cast Entangle centered on myself. The plants do not attempt to restrain me, but the area is still difficult terrain for you.
Oh boy. Okay, so we'll do a little circle here. Does it say... Oh, is it just the spell?
30 feet.
30 feet?
Yeah,
of
just the
difficult terrain.
spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
It's perfect that I did this on my angry cast.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so 30 feet... Is it 30 feet in diameter or 30 feet radius?
I think it's 30. I think it's 30 feet.
Diameter.
Diameter. It would be insane if it was a 30-foot radius.
Lord, that'd be huge.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Is that right? Centered on you would mean...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing says 30 feet, so I think that's right. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Yeah, okay. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's 30.
All right, so all of a sudden, you feel Pascal just sort of like phase in and out of existence for a moment, and all of a sudden, up all around you, these like thick vines shoot out of the ground. They seem to avoid your feet, Jeatz, but underneath you, Ka, and underneath you, Almyre, these vines start to like grab at your ankles, and they are reminiscent of the awakened shrubs that were in the previous room. All right.
I think I just don't even notice from being angry. It's just like a byproduct of me.
Yeah, and Pascal is feeling that anger. Okay. That is going to take us to the Boggle's turn. Or should be on turn 1. Oh, you guys probably want to see the initiative tracker, yeah.
If you have it.
Yay. Alrighty, give me just a second. A little bit of this. A little bit of that. Alright, there you go.
Oh.
There's the tracker.
No, it's not.
Did you read it wrong?
The range is 90 feet, but the target is a point within range.
Oh, so you can just cast Entangle? I thought it was centered on yourself.
It is. It's just you cast Entangle on yourself, looking at Entangle for 5e. It says grasping weeds and 20-foot square.
Oh.
That's weird. It says target. Yeah, centered on my. Well, yes, it would be centered on me.
Okay. So a 20-foot square is that. Okay. So, Ka, you're definitely in it. Almyre, it's kind of nipping at your ankles, but you're not necessarily in it.
Cool.
So it would be a strength saving throw against me.
Yeah, whatever
when
your
it
spell
gets
save
cast. So both of them need to run a strength save.
Oh, right now? Okay. Yeah, so...
Yeah, because it's like I cast it, so...
Strength save.
Oh my god. 3.
Another nat 1? A 3. Ugh. Woof.
Well,
strength save.
Read.
Ka, read. Strength save.
Strength save? Okay, sorry. 17.
Okay, so Ka is not entangled, but Almyre is.
All right, but the area is still difficult terrain, right?
It's difficult terrain to me. I'm not entangled. To Almyre, they are restrained, and you can only you have to use a DC. You have to pass a strength save to get out of it.
Could I magically leave the area?
If it's restrained, then yeah, I think so.
Restrained just means you have 0 movement.
Cool.
So you can Misty Step out if you want. Alright, some of these tracks are much louder than others. My God.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it lasts up to a minute.
All right, so just for the combat. But you're not concentrating on the spell. So it will just last.
I don't think it's a concentration spell at all.
Yeah, it just lasts for a minute. Okay, so this area is still difficult terrain. Almyre, you are restrained, which means you have 0 feet of movement unless you save at the end of your turn. And then Ka, you are not restrained, so you have free movement, but the area you're moving through costs you half movement as you go through it. Okay, back to initiative. That takes us to the Boggle's turn. You see they look at Tree Twig down to the pool where this arcane just crack has opened up, and then back over to you, Jeatz. And they say,
What do you want? You're not human! Oh, fuck. Tree Twig, what the fuck have you done?
And you see Mud is going to, let's see. He is going to move. Actually, let me see. What's the? Yeah, I wish I had a freaking ruler I could. All right, he at least Mud over here is going to move his hands in a very quick fashion and create a dimensional rift that he is going to step through and reappear over here. And you see the dimensional rift closes, and he is now standing behind Ka. And that is a bonus action for them. So as an action, Mud is going to goo some oil out of his hand, some slippery goo. I need Ka and Jeatz to give me, let's see, how large is this oil puddle? Oh, never mind. It's just like immediately surrounding Mud. So just Ka, I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, that's my best one. Let's see. 25.
25. You're absolutely going to pass. So he just excretes through his body just this oil. And you're about to slip a little bit, but fortunately these vines suck it up. So you do not fall prone. But that, however, is Mud's turn. We're going to Kunk. And he is going to look around. And shit, I don't know what he's gonna do. I guess he is going to hop over the water here, and then do a dimensional rift to behind you, Horace, and do the same thing and try and make you fall over. Give me a dexterity saving throw. As he tries to make you fall over.
Play the table. That is a 12.
12 just passes.
Thank God.
You see Kunk just excretes just a lot of oil. You can see him just concentrating on it very hard as just this oil floods the ground. And you can see it flooding into the pool a little bit that's standing behind you, or that is, flowing behind you rather. But you manage to stay standing. And that is going to be, you see rounding the corner is none other than Unger, completely unharmed.
Oh, brothers, what are you doing? Oh, what the fuck's going on? Unger, I need you to run. Get the fuck out of here. The humans found us.
And you see Unger says,
No way, absolutely not. I'm going to stay here and defend you. You're my brothers after all.
And Unger is going to throw a rock at you, Horace. That is absolutely going to miss. I rolled a 4 on the dice. But that is going to be Unger's turn. We move on now to Horace, your turn. So one of these Balgo brothers has just teleported behind you, and then the one that you thought absolutely died in the blaze from earlier comes around this corner looking for his brothers. What are you going to do?
I'll just go look at Kunk, and I'm going to attack him. And it's like, well, thanks for coming right to me. Don't have to chase you down. And I'll attack with my sword.
Wait, no, it wasn't me!
It wasn't you, but you're trying to... You just trying to spray me all over with stuff and knock me down.
I ink when I get nervous.
You could have just ran, or you could have talked us out, and maybe team up with us against it. But no, you made your decision. I got a 14 to hit.
A 14 will definitely hit.
Right?
Oh, sorry, a 14 just hits.
Ooh, okay. That is a 9 damage.
Our slippery little fellas. 9 damage. All right. Yeah. Kunk is looking hurt. You go to swing your longsword into him, and you catch him good in the arm. And he starts bleeding, but like their blood is black, like orcs from Lord of the Rings.
And then I'll use my dagger for a 18 to hit.
18 hits.
That is a 7 damage.
7. Do you have 2-weapon fighting, Sean?
Yeah, 2-weapon fighting. Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you took that fighting style or not. Okay, yes, Kunk is almost dead. You slice into him with your long sword and just like slash him across the belly. It's basically like you're crouching because they're so short. You see Kunk is just bleeding all over the place. He turns around to his brother.
You gotta run, brother. You're not gonna make it out alive. They found us.
All right. Any movement from you, Horace? Otherwise, we're going to move on to Ka with Jeatz on deck. Sorry,
Nope,
Jeatz.
I'm good.
Okay.
No movement.
Ka, you're up, and Jeatz, you are on deck. So, Ka, this is difficult terrain. You see mud has just appeared behind you as he tried to make you fall over, but fortunately, the plants beneath your feet actually give you a little bit of stability.
Yeah, let's see. Ka's gonna, I guess, obviously jump in surprise whenever mud, I don't know, warps behind them, but has their rapier out right away and is going to make a stab at mud. And that is a 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Okay. 6 damage.
All right.
And then for 2-weapon fighting, they're also going to swing with their dagger. And that is a 14 to hit.
14 just hits.
Okay, and then a 6 damage.
6, all right. All right, Mud is also looking pretty fucked up. That takes us over to Jeatz, and then after which will be Tree Twig's turn.
All right. I'm gonna look around and see, like, I think finally notice, and I think I noticed, Pascal just kind of go, and I look over to him and go, did I do this, or did you?
Pascal looks you in the eyes and shrugs as much as he can for a little lizard.
Okay. All right, so, cool. I'm gonna turn back and look towards Mud, and I think I'm still angry, and I'm gonna cast Sleep.
Okay. Roll those d8s.
Yeah, it's 20 feet within where I am. And
I think
How
if
many
that's the
D8s is
case,
it?
Mud is probably the only one that you're going to be able to get to.
yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to figure out how many D8s it is. 5d8. That's gonna be 19 HP.
Yes, you absolutely can knock Mud out.
So yeah, I'm gonna knock Mud out.
Yeah, the sleepy powder floats past Ka and over to Mud, and you see he's
I feel a little woozy over here.
and just passes out on the ground.
As that happens, I'm just gonna whisper, "Go to sleep."
Is that a concentration
And
spell?
It is not.
Ooh. Is it just until they take damage? Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or damage,
What?
or someone uses action to slap or hit the creature.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my movement. So that's 10, 15 to get out, 20, 25, 30. And I'm gonna start running towards Treewig and be like, I don't understand why you do this. And that's my turn.
All right. That takes us to Treetwig's turn.
Oh.
He is going to take a few steps over to you, Jeatz. And okay, thank goodness this song is over. I'm going to pause the music for a moment so you guys can hear me. Treetig walks over to meet you, Jeatz, on his turn, and he says, "Oh, thank goodness you've chased those boggles away. Listen, if you would only listen, I can explain everything. I never meant to upset you or the human. It was simply a request. But if you can chase the boggles off, I would be grateful." And then I'll resume the music. And Treetwig is going to spend his turn doing nothing. That takes us to Almyre's turn.
Be suspicious. Kill him.
Very suspicious.
So, Almyre, at the moment you're restrained, so you don't have any movement, but at the end of your turn you can make another strength saving throw. What's your DC, Jeatz? Probably a 14 or something?
He can use his action to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
I
mean, if you want to stay mobile, you may.
And it is, I did reread the spell. Yeah, the entire area is difficult terrain.
I'm going to use my bonus action to go ahead and phase step 30 feet away.
Oh, hang on. You know what? I think to phase step or misty step, you might need 10 feet of movement. But let me just double check.
The bonus action, you can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
It doesn't say it requires any movement. Okay.
Does not.
That's fine. All right, then you are no longer restrained if that's the case.
Cool.
So I will remove your restraint token, and you may face step wherever you wish.
Cool. Oh. It's not letting me move. Can someone move me to...
Yep.
let me... Move me to, like, right about here. Can you see that? Nope.
I can see nothing.
Oh.
Knight to
Are you
A7.
using the pointer?
Nope. I'm using the little drip thing.
That's a little...
Across...
No, that's me. That's me. The yellow
That's
guy.
you, yeah. Across, down the river.
How many squares?
Right here?
Yeah, right
here?
there. Right there.
The
where
yellow
you-
is? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Where the
Yep.
yellow is.
I don't know why it's not working.
That's strange.
And the good news is that Kunk moved exactly 30 feet away, so he stayed in range for Witch Bolt. So it will attack him again as my
Roll
action.
another-
Does Witch Bolt like persist, or is it
Let
like a
me
visual
make-
thing?
Let me make
It's
sure.
persist.
You've got to hit the target. And then you can persistently use your action to retain the connection.
Oh. If it misses the first time, it's done.
I only know this because I like to use Witch Bolt in Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
But if you, but if you miss, it doesn't do anything, unfortunately.
Oh.
I don't know if that
Okay,
changes
cool.
what you would do if you want to use your action before you teleported to try and redo Witch
No,
Bolt, but
no,
it's up to
no.
you.
I will instead. I'll try to hit Mud with a firebolt. And that is a 12 to hit. God.
Does he have? How does this cave?
You don't
work?
have.
Does he have sight
You don't
line
have a
on it?
line. You don't have
Yeah.
a line of sight. You see this thing here? That's in the way. This is just like a big
Oh,
pillar. Yeah, that's in the way.
Oh.
It's hard to see. It's hard to see because of the difficult terrain. But yeah,
Oh.
there's a pillar right here. If you want to cast, that
interesting.
on Kunk or Unger,
Mhm.
before you teleport, I'll let you do that. Considering,
Ooh.
misunderstanding about Wishbolt. But yeah, you don't and never did have a line of sight on
I
Mud.
don't. Oh. Noted. No, it'd be too far to move that. Wow, no, I never did that over there either, then, too.
Would firebolt
I'll
do
cast
anything?
it. I'll cast it on Conk before I leave. I mean, I
Alright.
still rolled a 12 anyway, so.
Yeah, give me an attack roll. An interesting question you pose, Sir Horace. An interesting question you pose.
Oh, what do you say?
No, I'm not going to say
I'm
it.
just. I'll just go ahead and roll me your attack. Firebolt.
A 10 to hit.
10 does not hit.
Yeah.
Okay. That takes us to the Boggle's turn. So it's Unger, who has just thrown a rock at Horace. You see him crying oily tears out of his nasty yellow eyes.
I won't leave you behind, brother, but I think I must.
And you see Horace, you see Unger teleport away. Into the cave.
No wonder you left
Into
him
the
behind.
cave
He's
beyond.
awfully annoying.
Conk bleeding out.
Oh, yes, he's the least favorite amongst the three of us.
And Mud is asleep, so Kunk is just going to take a very lazy swipe at you with his claws. His oily claws. Is a 10 gonna hit?
Oh, that just misses.
These boys are fucking pathetic. You see Kunk is just like coiled over, holding the slash that you've left in his stomach. One arm just limp on one side. Oh, he's looking pitiful. But as a bonus
I'm
action,
to maneuver on you.
as a bonus action, he is going to try and cover you in some sticky oil and just stick himself to you. Give me an athletics check as he tries to technically grapple
Do you want a hug
you.
or something? Gross.
He just is kind of like falling over into you. A 5. That is going to fail. He just like leans over into you and he's just like kind of stuck to you at the moment. So you're technically grappled. Very lazily, but technically grappled. And that is now your turn, Horace.
I guess I'll get my dagger. Like I'll stab him in the back as he's like stuck to the front of me. I'll like hug
Go
him, but I'll
for
go with the dagger.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my god, that's a white dice down. That is a 25 to hit.
A 25 will hit. There's a finish, Kunk. He's just like
6
leaned into
damage.
you, stuck into you. 6 will fucking do it.
I'll just like hug him and then repeatedly just like stab him in the back. And
brilliant.
I'll just like peel him off slowly.
So,
And I'll-
question for you: what did you do with the necklace that you found? That your father had carved that tree with. Well, had put the carved tree on that silver necklace that you found. Did you put it on or what?
So I would probably put it on my
Put it on where? Sorry, you cut out for a second.
put it around my neck.
As you are stabbing Kunk in the back, you feel this necklace start to burn and get hot, but it doesn't hurt. It's like a good kind of heat, and all of a sudden, this fiery exhalation just flies out of you. You have just cast Hellish Rebuke. And while the boggles, you might have figured this out by now, are immune to fire damage, you feel this necklace light up with this fiery energy and then cool down almost immediately. So we might explore that later, but that's what happens in this moment as Kunk just sort of his life leaves while you're holding him and just stabbing him in the back repeatedly.
I guess after that happens, I'll just want to slide him into the water.
Yeah, you turn around and throw him into the water. Yeah, let me get a skull icon real quick. The classic skull icon. There we go. Yep, Kunk is dead. So you still have the rest of your turn, Horace. With Kunk dead, you're not grappled anymore. So you still have, your bonus action and movement.
All right. Can I do some parkour and like hop off of this wall and over here?
Yeah, give me an athletics check. We'll say DC 14 to try and run along the wall to land on the other side.
Oh. No, okay.
Are you saying, oh no?
I don't know. 16.
16, yeah, you absolutely do
it. The water.
Yeah, so Horace, you kind of squat down a little bit. It's been a minute since you've used your knees in this manner, but you leap from standing, run along this wall, and land in this open cavern next to Almyre. You see Jeatz standing there in front of Tree Twig, who's just kind of standing there looking over him. But more notably, perhaps, in the middle of this pool, this arcane light is spewing out from this crack in the earth in the pool. All right, that takes us to Ka's turn. So, Ka, behind you, Mud is asleep at the moment, and in front of you are a bunch of just these twisted vines covering the ground. And Jeatz, you're up after.
Okay.
Yes, and moving through the twisted vines would be half movement cost, right?
Right, so to get to the other side, it would cost you 10 feet of movement, basically. It would cost you 40 feet of movement to get to the other side. I have my math backwards.
Okay.
But as a rogue, you can dash as a bonus action.
Ooh, yeah. And that adds how much? Let's see.
Dashing doubles your movement speed.
If Mud is sleeping,
So
does he get sneak attack damage?
If they're unconscious... 5e unconscious.
Oh, you should get advantage on unconscious.
Oh, geez, I was reading the definition of unconscious. An unconscious creature is incapacitated, can't move or speak. Attack rolls have advantage against the creature. So yes, you would have advantage and then also get your sneak attack because of having advantage.
Yeah.
So if you want to attack Mud with your action, you can. That's up to you, though.
I think Ka would not want to strike a creature that's already unconscious. So I'm going to move through this area, and that costs half my movement. And Tree Twig is talking with Jeatz now.
Right. So Tree Twig used his movement to meet Jeatz on the battlefield, as it were, but did not move to attack Jeatz. And said, something along the lines of, "Thank you for chasing off the Boggles." Something like that.
Okay.
That was a terrible voice because I had a burp in my throat.
Yeah.
Sorry. Bad voice acting. Terrible.
I think in that case, then Ka's going to step up behind Jeatz and just say, "I'm behind you, Jeatz," and just stand there in support. But if they're not actively in combat, in the same way that Ka's not going to stab Mud, I think they're not going to engage in combat with someone if it's not looking like that's happening at the moment.
If you want to use your action to give Jeatz the help action, you may, to give Jeatz advantage on whatever roll they do next.
Sure. That sounds good.
Yeah, so the help action is a rare in combat, but you may use your action to give Jeatz advantage on their next d20 roll.
Okay, so yeah, they'll kind of, as they come up behind Jeatz, they'll place their hand on Jetz's shoulder and it's like, I'm with you, Jeatz, and then I guess give Jeatz the help action.
All right, so Jeatz, behind you, you feel Shota, as far as you're concerned, come up behind you and put a hand on you to help you. Tree Twig has walked up to you unviolently, despite being attacked.
Thank you for chasing off the boggles. Perhaps we may have a civil conversation after this. I understand the immediate jump to violence.
But what are you doing, Jeatz?
I think that feeling Ka's hand on my, Shota? Ka.
Shota. Yeah,
Shota.
As far
feeling
as you know,
Shota's-
Shota.
Feeling Shota's like hand on my back, I think calms me down just a little bit, and I think my eyes turn back to like my normal color. And I'm going to look at Tree Twig and just go, I will give you a chance to explain yourself, but it better be a good reason. And I'm gonna hold my action to cast Thunderclap if I don't like what he says.
Okay. That is very fair. That is very fair. Okay, so as we get to Tree Twig's turn, I will pause the music once more. And Tree Twig, as you approach him and as the cave has lit up, you see that this cavern is like 30 feet tall, much taller than the rest, this open pool next to you. You finally get a good look at Tree Twig. Tree Twig is basically a tree that's like 40 years old in thickness. He is about 15 feet tall, and you see like this dark hollow where a face would be and these glowing yellow eyes, and his arms are, just twigs basically that look like hands. Nothing peculiar to one such as yourself that's lived in the wild, for all of your life. But he leans down over to you at first and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, perhaps that's disrespectful." And you see he gets down on his knees to meet you more at eye level. He's still very tall. Even on his knees, he's like 8 feet tall. But gets down on his knees to meet you at eye level and says, "I'm sorry. I was given a task by another. And me being of the plant folk felt ill setting fire. I do hope that you may forgive me, for it seems you are here for revenge on the part of another."
This seems an extreme way to get my attention.
I don't understand why someone would burn down a man's home. That's not the way you do this. This man isn't necessarily my friend, but we should have respect for each other, not just go around destroying people's homes.
The man... Oh, maybe this isn't the right track for this. We'll switch it up. The one that came before, that requested the blaze. He made good arguments like you now. Said the one living in the cabin was wasting his life
as a human in the wild. To a tree, perhaps that means nothing, but this one was passionate. Seemed to care for the human in the cabin.
That's not a good reason to do this. I think I'm starting to understand better, but...
Do you have a name?
Yes, it is Tree Twig.
I meant, do you have a name for the person who came to you?
Oh, sorry.
Weren't you paying attention, Horace? His name is Tree Twig.
This one had no name, but always wore a large smile across his face. One unbefitting an Eladrin such as himself.
I look over at Horace to try to gauge like his feeling. Because at the end of the day, like, I can be mad about this as much as I want, but like, if he's accepting of this, I'm not gonna like take my rage out even more.
Yeah. Horace, go ahead and roll me a insight with advantage.
$15.
With a 15, you do not know many Eladrin that you would describe as jolly, and one in particular pops out in your mind. Your mentor. You find it unlikely, but the thought crosses your mind. Tree Twig goes on to say,
Now, I understand perhaps Dryads gave you trouble? As well. That was not my misgiving upon you.
Just a
Well-
coincidence in timing.
While we share this hollow, the Dryads were only seeking refuge here. And when they got here, they found something unfortunate for them.
and Tree Twig gestures over towards the gash, the arcane slice in the bottom of this pool. And as he does so, everyone give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh. I think
Do
I'm
I
good.
get advantage on that? That's my next roll.
Sure, yeah, you can have advantage on that, Jeatz.
A 9.
Okay, a 9 will fail.
14.
14 will fail.
A dirty 20 for Almyre.
Foo-foo.
Okay, I have something special for you then, Almyre.
Oh.
Horace, what's your intelligence saving throw?
10.
10. The three of you look over to this arcane slash in the bottom of this pool. You feel yourself drawn into it, so much so that it almost feels like you're falling into the pool. Like if you've ever felt like dizzy and falling forward for some reason, like your ears just can't adjust. It feels like it's sucking you in, and you fall down on your hands and knees. And as you see your hands in front of you, you can almost see your fingernails grow. and the hair on your hand starts to grow a little bit. And Almyre, as you see everyone else across the pool start to fall over, you, with your eye for time, can tell that whatever this is almost sucking time out of the air, that whatever gets near it accelerates. And as all of you, well, most of you fall to the floor, Tree Twig adjusts a little bit and says, "This is what the Dryads were upset about. You see, time makes trees grow tall and strong. I like it here, but Dryads have a much shorter time on this earth, and they went from one place such as this to another. And the thing that they hold in common is humans, and the Dryads felt they needed to kill humans. They thought humans the cause for such a thing. So I did not send the Dryads, but I will confess to the burning. But trees know not of house and home. They simply stand and grow."
Is there a reason for us, or for them thinking humans are the cause, or just their first instinct that they went with?
They stayed quiet, but I do think there was another gash such as this where they used to be, not far from here.
Can I, with my prepared action, cast my spell that I said, Thunderclap, into the gash?
Sure. Yeah. Is that a saving throw or?
It's a con save, yeah.
Con save. Okay. I will roll a con save for the gash.
The gash.
Does a 13 pass?
It does not.
Jeatz, you turn around and immediately you are on your hands and knees already towards the water, and you just expel this arcane energy out of you, and it reverberates through the water, and the arcane light ceases. And I wish I knew an easy way to fucking erase this to be more goddamn dramatic.
Interesting.
Oh, you know what? Yep. Here we go. Just have to delete it. Sorry, taking notes. Not that I'll be able to read those later, but whatever. You see Tree Twig looks over to you, Jeatz, and says, you know how to close these?
I look at him, and I think the way that I would have played what I just did is like I released it. I released like this, like the energy I'd been holding up. As I like lost the consciousness part, you know, like when I failed throw. And
if you were storing it up to cast it as your action, you went unconscious. And it just... Okay.
Yeah. So I think like
Wild Magic Surge, since you cast the spell.
It's a cantrip. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm keeping up with it. I like Wild Magic Services, so.
Oh, okay. I mean, I figured, and I appreciate that.
I hope I die by accident. I can't wait. Anyway, so I turned back to Tree Twig, and I just go. I didn't know that. To be honest, that was just a byproduct of me letting off a little steam.
Curious. And you see
Can
Tree
I,
Twig puts a little.
I just want to
branchy
see
hand
like
into his face.
Interesting. I want to see like Pascal's reaction to, I guess, me closing it by accident.
Pascal is hiding in your scarf. You know, you can feel his eyes looking out, but he's hiding in your scarf. He's definitely.
Was he hiding in my skull before I cast the spell or after?
Before, for sure. He was afraid of Tree Twig.
Okay, so I think I like put a hand on like, you know, like they were around his body, and I just got give him a little tap and be like, "It's okay, little buddy." I think that while I don't like the cause, I think that this isn't necessarily as bad as I originally perceived it to be.
You feel him nestle up to you in your scarf. And he he starts to purr.
Cool.
So, the rest of you, I'm interested in what Horace is thinking in this moment. You know that Tree Twig, he's not the one that burned your hut down, but he's kind of the reason for it, in a way. And we'll say that the difficult terrain goes away. But
where's something? Because it's like my mentor didn't he? Well, I guess I think he's dead.
well, Mud is unconscious. He's sleeping, but you did not see
My
where Unger went.
mentor.
Oh, yes, Captain Leander. As far as you know, Captain Leander was murdered the night you went to go check on your mother, before your knighting. You were accused of murdering Captain Leander, but nothing ever came of it because they could not positively say that you did it. But everyone else in the Petal Guard believes that you did.
So I guess I'm just sitting there like racking my brain, thinking about kind of, who else it could be that says I'm wasting my life, because there's really only a few people that would really care enough to even, want me to be, do something with my life. Because everyone else kind of, as a human, kind of looked down upon me. I guess I'm not really angry at Tree Twig right now. Just a little upset that he burned my house down, but more upset that like the person that could have just come to me if they were so, instead of burning my house and come to me and tell me like, hey, you're wasting your life,
Yeah.
Let's get back together.
Yeah. Ka, what are you thinking in this moment, standing behind Jeatz?
I think Ka's feeling the effects of the weird rift and is doesn't trust Tree Twig in the moment. But yeah, I don't know how else to react other than they're very cautious.
And Almyre, lastly, will move over to you. The only one that saved the intelligence saving throw, sort of watched as this familiar magic to you kind of took its toll on this room in this moment.
I'm definitely thrown off by it. Is there a, does it remind me of anything, of any of the lessons that I had growing up on time?
Give me a history check.
History. Let's see what my history score is. That is a natural 1 for a 7.
Perhaps you were dazing off.
Mhm.
Or,
Checks out.
sorry, in a daze or dozing off. I combined two words there in the same sentence. For this particular class, or this lesson from your father.
Yeah.
While you are, sure, an expert on time magic by the layperson's standard, this is unknown to you. This level of time fuckery,
All right.
we'll call it. So we'll come back to Tree Twig, and Tree Twig straightens up and is thinking and is kind of taking in all of your reactions, and says,
Well, I do reckon that our business perhaps is done here. And I must thank you for chasing off the terrible creatures that I hired in the first place, and for that I am sincerely sorry. I do hope that perhaps this can make up for it, for I have failed in the name of plants and trees everywhere. For it is not right for a tree to burn.
and you see he reaches within himself, and you see the bark on his chest starts to split apart as these like twig like spindly fingers reach into his chest, and he pulls out this heart that is made from bark and wood, this sinew of plant material that looks like an anatomically correct heart, and he holds it out to you, Jeatz, and he says, "I will spend the rest of my days as a plain tree growing alone in this cavern, lit only by the light of the fireflies." And as he pulls it out, he starts to fade over, and the heart falls to the floor, and you see Tree Twig's legs start to grow into roots that pierce the rock.
Ooh.
And he leans over, and the light fades from his eyes, and he just looks like a tree that was here naturally growing underground. But the heart that was in his hands, which is about the size of a basketball, a little less than a foot in diameter, is still on the ground. It almost looks like it's pulsing with this greenish, yellowish energy.
I reach down, having watched this, and grab the heart. And kind of close my eyes, and like, this is probably the closest I've been to like living nature aside from like Pascal's like wild magic, and I just kind of connect for a second with it, and then I'm going to cast Shape Water to grab a little bit of the like clean water out of this like lake here.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of pour it over the newly formed roots of Tree Twig. And then I'm going to let out a breath towards Tree Twig and give him a like and then just kind of do my bow one last time and turn back to showed up.
Give me a nature check with advantage as you do that.
Well, that's good thing it's an advantage, because that's a 14 instead of a nat 1.
Okay.
And it was very close to a double nat 1s.
You bow after having watered Tree Twig, as it were, and you see this heart that he's pulled out still full of life. And you've heard tell before, especially, living out in the wild as much as you have, that some Fae have hearts and they're not readily given up. But here you have one before you, freely offered.
Can I feel like just being like, all right, and put it in my bag is probably not the careful way of doing this, but
all right, off we go.
Can I offer it to Pascal to kind of look over?
Yeah, so you offered up to Pascal, and everyone, honestly, if you want, now that Tree Twig is sort of like turned into this static tree, not this awakened tree anymore, if you want, you can all come over and take a look at what Tree Twig had to offer.
Should we also roll nature checks or anything, or doesn't matter at this point?
Yeah, everyone roll me a nature check while you crowd around.
Other than me.
Other than
11.
Jeatz, yes.
Yeah.
Can I? Hold on. Never mind. I don't have the. Oh, maybe I do. Yeah. Can I spend a minute and, or rather, 10 minutes, in ritual cast Identify?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys are not under a threat of any kind. So, Jeatz, you hand over the heart to Almyre, and you spend the time to ritual cast Identify. You set this down on the ground and spend some time meditating over it. And what you learn is that this is a Fey heart. And in your studies, Fey hearts vary in power, this one in particular being a minor Fey heart, but they are coveted by Fey nonetheless. They're sort of how one gains power in the wild. Now, you as an Eladrin perhaps don't have to worry about this because you have your own societies that can kind of protect you. But out in the wild, if you have a Fey heart of any kind, it grants you some sort of power, some sort of command over those that are lesser. And perhaps the most important thing is that the Archfey themselves have the most powerful Fey hearts within them that grant them command over the wild. You would know your father, especially, to have one of these hearts.
I've added to the bag of holding.
Can I do some kind of like Arcana check to see if like there's a specific power it gives me, or if are you just saying it's in it like?
Some Fey hearts have powers, and I guess Almyre, if you want to tell this to the group, some Fey hearts do have powers, at least that you've learned in your studies, and some do not. Some merely have the aspects of being a Fey heart. Like, perhaps if you wanted with this one in particular, you could command, some small insignificant plant to bend to your will. But this one, being a minor Fey heart, does not have much power beyond that.
I think I'm going to take some cloth out of my pack and wrap it up and stick it in my bag, and kind of carefully. And then I'm gonna look back at Horace and say, we still have one more of those creatures if you would like a little more closure. And kind of gesture towards the bauble that's sleeping on the ground.
think Shota did the right thing. Not honorable to kill something sleeping.
What works for me? I'm gonna cast thunderclap, like not to do damage to him, but to wake him up and then yell, "Get out of here."
Interesting. Okay, so you break the sleep spell, yelling, "Get out of here," and you see Mud gets up, a little groggy at first, thinking he's in a dream. He kind of wipes the oil from his eyes, like eye boogers. They're just like huge globs of oil. He throws to the side of the walls and blinks a little bit and says, "Oh shit! Oh fuck!" And you see him teleport away down the hallway.
And I
He's
he's
awake. Time for some closure. I run after him.
Can I have boomed my voice with? I mean, I guess I have prestidigitation, so I could have just boomed my voice with that. But could I accompany my yell of "Get out" with thunderclap to where it's one big sound?
Oh yeah, he absolutely goes deaf for sure. At least temporarily. Especially as it's in this narrow corridor, the air pressure gets pretty significant.
Yeah. Knowing that also it's gonna boom around this cave, and any of the other ones that might still be here, are gonna hear it too. So then I'm gonna look back at Horace and go, "Well, have we done what we came here to do?"
Well, I guess this mystery is just turned into a whole different mystery, so we've accomplished what we need to do here. Well, I guess now I owe you my promise.
Yes, maybe we should be getting on.
Can I? Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe an inside check to see when Shota kind of didn't kill that Mud or whatever. Is that weird? Is that strange of Shota's usual character?
Interesting. Ask Shota about it. You two are here. I mean, if it was in the moment, I'd have you roll for it, but I mean, you're both here talking now.
Shota, that was real honorable of you to not kill that sleeping, whatever it is, the boggle.
Well, I was going to the village not to strike down.
And also
strangers in this land.
And also, I guess, real honorable of you to protect this town and go after dryads.
I know that you've been a part of this town for a long time, or adjacent to this town. And, it's wrong that someone took your home.
Horace just pauses for a while, and he's like, "Yes, it is." And he'll just start walking out of the cave.
So yeah, I think I'll do the shape water trick now to get us back.
Okay. Yeah, you guys make your way out of the cave, and as you reach the door, sunlight has definitely faded. We're nearing nighttime. The sun is going down. I'll say, I don't know, I guess I'll just give you this for free. You all would know that staying out in the open for a night in the wild would probably be problematic, but it's only a 30-minute hike to the village, so perhaps you should stay there for the night. Merely a suggestion on your DM's part, but just something that would be on the top of your minds, as mostly.
I could use a rest, so.
Yeah, if you guys wanted to stay in the inn for the night, you know that you did save Cardigan and Flump from the Dryads. They would probably grant you a free bed for the night.
I love it when we save Cardigan's backyard again.
I'll wear cardigan like a sweater.
So I look to a Horace and I go, so what's the quickest way back to the auto port?
I guess what the quickest way would be just the way we came.
Wait, you said autumn court?
Wait, the autumn
Yeah,
court.
that's
I
what
think. Sorry.
yeah,
Are we stopping at the inn?
The quickest way back to the village? Is that what you meant to say?
No. I meant I'm in character trying to imply we should go ahead and head out.
Oh,
But-
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
What?
So I look at Horace and go, so what's the quickest way back to the autumn court that you'd recommend?
This is your journey. You're dragging me on, so I'll follow you.
Fair enough. We should probably take a rest for the evening and then start out in the morning.
I agree. I think I need some time to ponder
The
Treetwig's words, to maybe find some semblance of what he means, or who would have done such a thing, or asked him
The
to
honor-
do such a thing.
The Honorable Sir Horace was like, I'll go straight there for you. We don't have to sleep.
I keep my promises.
Horace, would you lead us back to the village, please?
Do we think the inn will let us stay for the evening?
Shoda, what do you think?
I think they certainly would.
All right.
As we're walking, I walk up to Shoda, and I look at him and go, you're from around here, correct?
Yes, I've lived in the village my whole life.
Wonderful. What do you know of Sir Horace over here?
Oh, he's a lonely man. He stays out away from everyone else. He'll come into town to buy his basic goods, but he's kept his distance for a long time.
Why do you what reason do you think a Fey would put a bounty on his head?
I don't know. I mean, why does he live apart from other humans? No one knows the whole story.
Interesting. I hope that becomes more clear, but you can never know, I guess, with these folk, with these Fae. What are your next plans? Stay in the plan on staying in the village?
Oh, I shall probably travel on. I was looking for adventure, which is why I came, but it seems that we're finished with our adventure here.
Might I convince you to stick around as a third hand as I guide Sir Horace back to the Autumn Court?
When you see Shoda's eyes flash a little bit, and they're like, maybe as a both a friendly gesture and I'm always looking for employment, so I'll join you for the moment.
Of course, I wouldn't expect you to do this for nothing. I came to get this man, and suddenly I've been wrapped up in something a little larger than I expected, and having an extra hand may be good yet. So I am willing to split the bounty with you of the favor I receive if you're willing to assist me getting him back to the Southern Court.
Okay, and Shoda sticks out their hand and as a shake and says, humans shake on their contracts. although I know that the Fae never make a promise they don't keep.
Yeah, and I reach out and I give him my like salutatory bow, and then I shake his hand.
Both of you.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, if you have something that you'd like to do.
I just would like to roll an insight on him saying human, like the way that he worded that humans do that, not we humans.
Oh, yes. Give me that.
I was thinking the same
deception
thing.
check. Give me that deception check.
I thought you were going to stop at humans shake hands for contracts.
All right, that's a 25. So
okay.
Whoa,
I got a 12.
yes. Oh,
I got a 12, but you know what? When better to do something stupid like this? I'm gonna use my recently refreshed Tides of Chaos to reroll my insight.
All right. Can you roll above? Wait,
oh no! I got a 21. That's a 20.
Damn, that was close. So you both shake hands, and Jeatz, this feels very unfamiliar to you, but you've heard tell of how humans make contracts.
Okay.
Especially, in the Feywild, humans are known of, sure, but they have strange ways, and so you reach out your hand to mirror Shota's approach, as it were, and as you shake hands, you feel this Fey magic warp around your hands and and sort of dissipate, and like a sparkly, like golden kind of firework.
Can I roll a perception check to see how good Shota's handshake looks?
No, Horace. No.
I want to say that Almyre comes up behind you guys as like an annoying little sister, and was just like, "I've never been to the Autumn Court."
Jeatz turns around and looks at Almyre and just kind of for the first time truly looks Almyre up and down like this school girl, for a better way to put it. And I think Jeatz is just like, well, the more the merrier. I'm not offering coin, but if you can hold yourself and take care of yourself, then I can't stop you from traveling the same path as I, so you may as well join us.
You'll find I can be quite resourceful.
And I look over at Shota and kind of give him the look of like, it's up to you though. You're equal partners in this now.
And Shota nods and says, Almyre may be green in adventure, but she's got spirit, and we'll need that on our quest.
Cool. I think I turned back to Almyre, and for a quick moment, flash my eyes green, just in reference, and then kind of turned my attention back to Horace as we're walking.
And Horace, you're just plodding along ahead, not saying any
I'm
of
just
this.
thinking in my head.
Yep.
Oh,
right.
Who could it be? Think, Horace, think.
As you all walk back to the village, we'll take a little BRB, if that's okay with everyone.
Be right back.
Brick. We'll be right back.
Is Oscar there?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Welcome back. Oh, I guess I need to change the map. So
Well,
the sun is very much fading. You guys are trudging back through the woods, basically back through the way you came. Horace, you know these woods pretty well, so you're able to get back to your cabin, which you can still see the embers of the fire. But you guys move back to the village proper as the sun is setting. And yeah, we'll go back to Wittershins here. And we'll move back to the inn. Alright, and I think, yeah, there's still some old tokens here, but let me move Chancellor Smith. Yeah, Chancellor Smith and Genevieve are gone, but you all arrive at the door of the inn. It's at this point the sun has definitely gone down, and so like the warm light of the inn is inviting you in. There's a hearth on the far wall, a few candles, and some games on the chairs to the right. And Cardigan walks in, and the last time you left Cardigan, she was in utter shock, but she walks up to you and says, "Hello, welcome in. You were the ones that were here to save me and from the Dryads. Please come in. Of course. I've got a warm bed prepared for you. I figured you might be back before the sun went down before bedtime. But yes, please come in. In fact, I've got a warm meal for you. So please just go find a seat and I'll bring it right out." And you see Cardigan invites you to sit at one of the tables, and then walks into the back room for a moment.
Can I walk up to the bar where Flumph is?
Yeah, Flumph is just floating here.
And kind of lean over and whisper and go, "I'll have any of that whiskey left." But I don't want anybody else to hear me ask it. Because it keeps getting taken from me.
Yeah. So you see Flumph dips below the bar, and you hear some rattling sounds, the clinking of a few glasses, and then comes up with a very, very pretty crystalline glass and a little glass bottle of whiskey, and pours you a little bit in the bottom of a glass. But before sliding it over to you, floats back into this back room, comes back, and then is holding what appears to be a piece of ice over the glass, and Flumph's eye stalks are looking at you eye to eye.
I look at him and absolutely like to give him the nod.
Flumph very carefully places it into the glass as to not spill a drop, and slides the glass over to you.
I look back to see if anybody else has noticed this exchange, and I look back at him and go, "Thank you so much." And I, in whatever way favor is transfer one favor to him.
One favor, okay. Yeah, you see Flumph turns a bright luminescent blue just as Cardigan comes out, and Cardigan says, "Oh, you're very bright right now, Flumph. What is it?" And you see Flumph turns its eye stalks away, and you see Cardigan move past Flumph as you're walking back to the table. Which table are you guys sitting at? Which... Miraculously, this table is already fixed, despite being broken after Shota got his ass kicked.
I sit in a place that when Horace sits down, I start pulling out a deck of cards.
All right.
And Shota's eyes definitely light up at that one.
Oh.
All right. Horace, I notice you're by the door. You see everyone else sitting down. Are you a little hesitant?
I guess I'll close the door behind everyone, and I'll slowly just walk to the table, or I'll slowly walk up behind Shota, and kind of on his chair, put my hands on his shoulders,
Stab him through the throat.
Yes, I do that. Like before we share a meal and we travel on together, I prefer to know who I'm traveling with. And while I don't know Jeatz too much or Almyre, I feel like I get a sense for who they truly are. But Shoda, even though I've known you, been around town, there's something off about you. Cardigan, what are your thoughts? You know this.
You see, Cardigan puts a few plates down, and Cardigan looks over at you, Ka, playing as Shoda, and looks at you, Horace.
Shoda here has been a little kinder than usual, but it's not beyond people to be a little nicer of heart, especially after stressful circumstances like we experienced earlier today. So I think nothing of it, Horace. Why don't you just eat a nice meal that we've prepared for you and leave poor Shoda alone? He's been through a lot today.
You see Cardigan pats you on the shoulder, Shoda, as she turns away, leaving the meals on the table.
He would change so much as to save a human and save a village full of humans. Last I heard, he was quite hateful towards his own kind.
Cardigan turns.
I'm gonna squeeze his shoulders even harder.
Very good. Very good. Cardigan turns around and locks eyes with you, Horace, and then looks down at Shoda and says,
well, perhaps you all do unexpected things under stress.
And Cardigan
Can I roll a...
starts to scuttle away.
Can I roll an insight check on Cardigan?
Yeah, sure.
Does Cardigan... Okay, my question is, Cardigan know what's going on? I got a 10. Never mind.
Cardigan looks extremely uncomfortable. Not because you think something is going on necessarily. She's just here to serve food and make you guys comfortable. And it's like you guys saved the village, and now there's some weird tension in the room. And so Cardigan is just trying to escape it as quickly as she possibly can.
I think that...
Get over here.
I think I take another sip of my whiskey then and just kind of sit back, but my eyes do go gold as I start drinking my whiskey.
I think Shoda's gonna stand up and slip out of Horace's grasp, but it's gonna be in a weird way where to Horace it almost feels like Shoda's shoulders are like liquid for a second as they get up. It feels a little bit impossible.
Oh, are
I roll something
small?
on that?
That's good.
I want to roll something on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Shoda, give me a deception check. I fucking love it. And Horace, give me an insight check.
Come on.
Can I roll a perception check just because I've been around changelings all my life?
Well, the
Or
fact that you said because I've been around
another-
changelings, I would say no. Can you give me another reason that you might be interested in what's going on?
Like I would recognize, at least like I think I would have a chance to recognize someone turning into something.
Sure. Yeah, you can roll me a perception check with disadvantage then.
Okay, that's fine.
This is sort of like happening in the moment.
God damn it.
So, Shoda/Ka, what is your deception roll?
I've been rolling 20s this whole time, and I rolled a 10. So let's
A
see what
10.
we got.
Oh, that's
I got a
beatable.
6 with disadvantage.
Okay, Jeatz, you are unsuspecting, but Horace, having your hands on Shoda's shoulders, what did you roll?
I rolled a really messy 20.
Oh, that's a very messy 20. That's a very messy 20. Okay, Horace, you feel Shoda slip is a term that we use occasionally, but you literally feel Shoda slip out of your hands as their shoulders just kind of turn to liquid in your fingers. But then Shota is standing next to you. No problem.
I want to, after I feel that, I want to, I guess, grab him and use a kind of like grappling pin and shove him against the bar.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes. Give me an athletics check, Horace. We're gonna do grappling rules here. So Horace, give me an athletics check, and then Shota, you can roll either athletics or acrobatics. Your choice.
Okay.
I think as this is happening, I'm like pulling my glass of whiskey back, like, whoa, keep away.
Ooh, terrible rolls. Got a 7.
19.
Okay.
Right. Horace, you're able to pin Shota to the bar, and where skin you would expect to meet your hand, it kind of goes in a little bit, sort of like this mirror image almost, as you hold your hand against Shota. But is it Shota? Who is Shota? This doesn't make any sense.
I pin him against the bar. Like, I have no times for lies and deceit today. Something about you literally just doesn't feel right.
Well, fuck. Well, so Shota, I think at this point, it'd be a little bit too much to keep going. So they laugh and perform the change back into Ka, and I'll drop Ka's token on the screen. Oh god.
Oh,
It's huge! Horace looks up. What the hell?
And everyone is crushed and dies instantly. No, so yeah, Shota smirks, shifts back into Ka, and takes a bow right in front of Horace and says, "Well, I I won't lie any longer for you, Horace. I met Shota on the road, and I must tell you the truth. I'm on the run from some things, and I couldn't trust anyone in the village. So I met Shota on the road, and I got a little tricked into, or got pulled into this thing. But I am Ka. I'm still at your service, and I'm still convinced to be part of this troop. I apologize for the deception, but I haven't trusted anyone in a long time."
I get up and walk out.
Answer me this. Shota was a dick, and everyone knows that. Did you kill him?
No, of course not. You saw already, I don't kill unarmed creatures.
Yes, I'll believe him. I'll just step back.
Almyre.
I'll just let out a deep breath and be like, glad we got that cleared. I was still a little suspicious of you, but now that I know the true you is out, fine to sit down and eat.
Almyra's gonna pipe up here and say, I just want to point out that it is a little strange that you get so angry about someone just changing their appearance when somebody else is taking you into custody and you have no problem with that.
I made him a promise, and I'll keep that.
What a strange promise.
Well, you weren't there, but he did help me out fight off some dryads, so it's not just that.
Where did he go?
Yeah, you all suddenly notice that Jeatz has left the inn.
Did he take his drink with him?
I sure fucking did.
Yeah.
I think Jeatz.
Where'd you go, Jeatz?
So Jeatz, I think in all of that, just kind of seeing him change, but specifically hearing him talk about not trusting anyone in like a long time, it really messed with that. It resonated in like a weird way. So Jeatz was like, in Jetz's head, he's thinking, this isn't this isn't possible. There aren't other changelings. Like that's not a. I must be seeing things. Like this can't be what I think it is. And so he's just out. He's just out. And I think he gets close to the water and he kind of looks out and
Your token keeps appearing and disappearing. Is it visible?
is it not visible?
Yeah,
I think
I can see
if
you
you
move it.
refresh, Avery, if you refresh, then I'll fix it. That's happened to me before.
Oh, okay. I can't even see it in the.
Yeah. I moved to by the
there it is.
river.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep having that happen with Cardigan Backyardigan. So anyway, so I oh yeah, look, there she is. So I think I go out to the river and I just kind of sit and think about what I saw for a while, and I whisper to Pascal, and I'm kind of half talking to Pascal, but more to no one at the same time. My thoughts out loud. Yeah, I think that's just where I am. I'm just outside.
Almyre will go look for Jeatz and see him and walk over to him and say, I don't know much about inns and taverns, but I believe you have to return the glass.
I look over to Almyre and go, yes, some drinks are better had in the crisp air rather than contained in...
What are you drinking? May I have some?
I kind of give Almyre a look over once again and go, it might be a little tough to swallow, but I guess if you're gonna follow us, you're gonna have to deal with it all. So I give Almyre my glass and say, one sip. That's all you want. That's all you get.
Take a sip, realize it's the same whiskey that was in earlier that I've already drank, and spit out, and we'll do the same thing again. And just, oh my god, it's the same. Why do you drink this?
I hate myself. No, I drink to forget. I don't yank the glass back, but I take the glass back and just take another sip. And I imagine it's gotten pretty low at this point. Like it's mostly ice and just a little bit of whiskey left. And I just look back at Almyre and go, it's been a long day. Just needed some air.
I agree. I've never fought anything before. It's kind of fun. Do you do this often?
If there's one thing I've learned, it's the best thing to do is avoid confrontation when possible, but commit when you have to.
Alright. And we'll move back inside to Horace and Ka. So, Horace, you just kind of discovered that Ka is not what they said they were in Shota, but you believe that Ka didn't kill Shota. But Almyre suddenly asked, "Where is Jeatz?" And you saw Almyre walk outside. At least the both of you did. So what's going on in here? And Philip was just floating along peacefully behind the bar, just observing.
I'd be like, well, I don't think he'd leave without his bounty, so he'll be back. And I'll just sit down and I'll wave at Ka to take a seat.
And Ka, kind of feeling around where Horace threw them against the wall, takes the seat opposite Horace. And it's Well, Horace, now that we're honest with each other, tell me, why are you being brought to the spring court?
Summer. Autumn.
Summer court.
Autumn.
court.
Winter. Cough. If I knew, I'd tell you, but to be honest, I have no idea. Jeatz.
So you've been arrested for something that you don't know, and you're going along with it.
I'm not sure I'd say arrested, but someone says there's a bounty on my head, so I guess I'm a little curious as to who that is, and it just makes me even more curious that someone else wanted me and burned my house down to get my attention.
There are many bounties on my head, and I'm not curious to learn more about them.
Well, I guess since this is my first, I might be a little more curious than you are.
All right.
And
Yeah, I guess.
so what's your journey here? Is there one specific bounty that led you in this direction? I guess running away.
Let's say I made an unfortunate bet with someone who can see through me a little, and I'm getting as far away from them as possible. I've always found myself drawn to humans. They seem like me to not belong, and so Widdershins was the right place to go. And plus, I figured no one would think that I'd come here.
Are you planning on taking another disguise as a human, or?
I like the way your beard looks. Maybe I'll be you next.
I clench my fists. Don't you dare.
Oh, wow. If you don't already have inspiration, absolutely inspiration for that. Oh, that was good. That was good. Oh, definitely.
I think you might. I think Flump would be a good imitation to do.
Maybe with that, Ka turns to Flump and says, "Flump, my dear boy, can we get a drink for the old stick of his butt Horace here? And I think we both need to relax over this long day."
You see Flump turns orange, but they go into the back room and come back. A dark ale for you, Ka, and a glass of whiskey for you, Horace. And then Flump floats back.
Is orange bad? I honestly, as a Reed thing, I would feel really upset if I offended Flump. So.
Oh, no. Roll me an insight check, sure. You can do that with advantage,
Okay.
actually.
He didn't like that you said I have a stick in my butt.
No, Flump only communicates in colors with people that are not Cardigan, specifically.
Okay. I have
Yeah,
with advantage a 22.
A 22. Orange is laughing. As far as colors go, or at least as far as Flump is concerned, you have seen Flump at least a little bit in your time in Widdershins. And you'll see Cardigan crack a wee little pun, and Flump turned a little orange. But Flump turning a bright orange would mean that they liked your joke.
Okay. If I ever offended Flump, I quit playing D&D.
No. Okay. So Horace.
I guess
and,
Horace will also
are-
kind of laugh. I'll just joke. I'll just laugh it off as
Still
well.
clenching your fist. Okay. So we'll go back to Almyre and Jeatz. It's getting late at night. The mosquitoes are starting to nip. But the warm light of the Sprig Inn is calling your name.
All right, I look back at Almyre and go, We should
Almyre.
get rest.
You've been saying a V, and I thought it was a mistake. It's M.
No, thank you, because I definitely have been saying it wrong. Almyre. I look back at Almyre and say we should get a rest, and then walk back to the tavern.
Right. So it's getting late, and you all feel yourselves getting a little tired, and Cardigan walks in and shows you each to your rooms. You all have a bed to yourselves. Fortunately, the inn is empty for the night, so you all get a room to yourselves. Does anyone do anything specific before they go to sleep? Just curious. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. And no, that's not what I mean.
Make out with
Who's
and I make Pascal watch.
Okay.
No, I think before we turn in, I stop Horace and pull the cards back out and offer him a game before we head off to bed.
Jeatz is offering Horace a game of cards before you go to bed?
Yes.
Okay.
I could borrow a few. What do you have in mind?
A good old classic game of D&D cards, whatever that is.
D&D cards.
We're playing Gwent.
Good. I literally don't have mechanics for you guys to play cards. So I will ask a series of basically rock, paper, scissors. And we will go wisdom, intelligence, and sleight of hand in that order. Wisdom, intelligence, sleight of hand. I guess technically dexterity. So just a raw wisdom, raw intelligence, and raw dexterity. And we'll do best 2 out of 2.
So we're
post check.
We're just rolling, and then rolling. Okay.
Yep. So first one is raw wisdom.
Okay.
Between the two of you.
Oh no.
Did you see my roll, Sean?
Well, I saw my roll first.
I rolled a nat 20.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, I wish I could count that as 2 wins, but I will not. I want to, but I will not. Intelligence is next.
Okay.
So 1 win to Jeatz. Raw intelligence.
I
9.
rolled a 6, but I'm gonna use inspiration.
Using inspiration on this in particular. Very curious.
Yeah. That's a 16.
16. Horace, I believe you've been thoroughly beaten at cards this night.
What was the last one, just for fun?
The last one is a dexterity check.
12.
Dirty 20.
God
Damn.
Jesse, you've got a Horace pinned.
If you look at my backstory, this completely makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to bed. Good night.
I think it was a friendly game of cards. Like, we didn't bet anything. I just wanted to. Can we say that we played over the night and I just won more than he did?
Yeah, you played several games of cards. Cardigan was just continually checking in on you. She looked very tired, and at one point she came out and practically fainted in front of you because she was so tired, and perhaps you felt for her and put yourselves to bed, but you see Cardigan retires behind the bar, and you guys all go to sleep this night. Flump is definitely not in that room.
I'm gonna message whoever's the next room over, which I guess is Ka, as we're going to sleep, and say, does anyone think it's strange that there's exactly 4 of us and exactly 4 rooms in this inn?
Peek behind the screen genuinely did not mean for that to happen. Some of these are actually bunk beds. If you zoom in enough, the room that Horace is in is a single bed, but the other ones are actually bunk beds.
I sleep on the top bunk.
Hey, that's cool, man. Love a top bunk.
Flump is on the bottom.
Are they playing cards like through the little slot?
I can feel the eye slots.
Jesus.
His little tentacles come up from the side.
Yeah, I think I knock out pretty quick.
All right. So, you all go to sleep.
I don't like that.
And we level up to level 20.
Woo!
No.
And nothing bad happens.
Kraken comes from the river.
Does Pascal sleep in the bottom bunk? Or does he
Oh, of
sleep
course.
in the next to me?
No, of course, no. Pascal sleeps in the bottom bunk. Pascal is an individual.
Hell yeah.
Okay, come on. All right, you all go to sleep. You open your eyes to see yourself floating in space. You open your mouth, but cannot speak. You look to your left and right, seeing the naked bodies of your... Wait, no, these can't be your newly found friends. Two of them look different. Wait, no. One of them looks like Ka? No matter. In the far distance, massive blue ribbons of magic dance and twist around one another in a delicate ballet that's simultaneously perfectly choreographed and yet utterly chaotic. These ribbons create two concentric circles, flowing around one dark, speckled orb. On these blue ribbons of arcane energy, you see other orbs, brown, gray, blue, moving in time with one another. All of a sudden, you feel a presence behind you.
Fear not, for you are safe here. Some call me the Timekeeper, others the Eon Watcher, but I prefer the Weave Warden. What you see before you is everything to ever exist. It dances and flows in time, in harmony, but...
You see a hand stretch over your shoulder, the size of a mountain, stretching its finger as long as a river to point to a space in the distant blue ribbons.
Except here, the weave has deviated from its natural course. This ribbon is stretching between the wild and the material. The weave is now in an unnatural, unbalanced state, interacting in a way that they are not meant to. I am merely an observer of this cosmos, of this delicate dance, and I've been devising a way to staunch this wound I've been watching fester for. Well, you do not experience the passing of time in the same way that I do. However, when you gazed upon that tear in the wild's fabric, we connected. And so, I come to you now. I cannot alter anything. Such is the curse my father Ealdon put upon me. You, however, have the great potential to prevent the universe's collapse. You must find out how and why this happened and reverse it before any more damage is done.
And you feel yourself start to fade from this dream. Oh god, why is this music playing? Fuck!
It was
I think
great.
You fade.
It was really
I know.
I like it. I like it.
So you hear this voice in this dream and you start to fade, and immediately, almost as if you had just gone to sleep, you wake up, but you feel surprisingly well rested.
Cool. Long rest.
Yes, you all do in fact get
Hey.
a long rest.
Nice.
Right. Oh yes.
Horace
Still
wakes up
level
thinking, why
No level.
were we naked? I pat myself down, make sure I'm still wearing clothes.
Yes, you are.
Can I? Fuck, do I want to do this for the story? Never mind. I think I'd like to revert for my normal length, but not change form.
Your normal length?
Remember, I got small.
Height? That's what
Yes.
normal people say.
Well,
to go back to
when
my
I'm-
normal
when I'm
size.
when I'm laying longitudinally, it's length, not height.
He's normally a long boy.
Sure.
It happened while I was in bed while I was laying sideways, so it's like, come on, man.
All right.
Don't you know your dimensions?
So,
Caleb
you
just
all.
thinks about his things too much, guys. It's just natural.
Yeah, I'd like to return to my normal length. My height's the same, though.
Oh my god. Okay, so you all wake up and you smell breakfast.
Bacon?
It smells like bacon. It smells like eggs. Maybe some fresh biscuits are being cooked down the way.
I'll be up. I'll already be eating.
Oh,
All right.
I'm an Eladrin.
Horace
I've been
up
up
and
for a
early.
while.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys?
Oh, no,
wait,
no,
do you
no, I
guys
don't.
trance?
Yeah, Eladrin.
Eladrin do. Oh,
Very
shit.
interesting.
I don't trance.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, you all basically had the same length dream. Even if you're trancing, you kind of like passed out.
Let me rephrase. I should trance because I look like an Eladrin, but I don't.
Okay. Got it. Wink, wink.
Whoever wants to do with that information as they may have noticed, they can.
Well, I think it might come out here in a second. So, Horace, you being the soldier that you are, the second you're awake, you are awake, and you find yourself out in the common area. Cardigan is sitting there having a cup of coffee, and quickly gets up and asks Flump for a plate of breakfast and slides it over to you, and not far behind, I guess, is Jeatz walking into the room.
Good morning, Jeatz. I hope you slept well.
Good morning. I did. Thank you for your kind offer of
Of course.
rest.
Could I get you some coffee, perhaps?
That would be much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I look down at Pascal, who I imagine I picked back up and put on my shoulder, and I look back at Cardigan and just go, if you have anything that for my little friend here, he would much appreciate a little breakfast as well.
Oh, yes, I'm sure we have some berries in the back.
And you see Cardigan goes to the back, goes behind Flump, and
Pascal
goes
is
to
just
fetch some
catching
berries.
flies.
All right, Ka and Almyre.
Almyra's been awake, but waits until she hears somebody moving first before she goes out there.
And my guess is that Ka sleeps in very late.
Right. Cardigan comes back with a few berries and a small bowl, and sets it on the table.
I hope your little friend enjoys this. Say, your two other friends, they kind of sleep in late, don't they? No matter.
And then Almyra appears.
We'll try and keep breakfast warm.
Well, I'm not sure what their usual schedule is, but I guess we're finding.
All right, so Almyre, if you want to appear, Cardigan will grab
sorry, I
you a
forgot
plate
we
of
have
breakfast.
Would you like a plate of breakfast, young lady?
Oh yes,
Perhaps
very
some
much
coffee?
so. Yes. Do you have any? What are we having?
Oh, just some eggs and bacon. Perhaps
Oh,
a
okay.
little, touch of coffee, if you'd like.
Yes,
I'll prepare you a
please.
plate.
You see Cardigan goes in the back, pulls out a seat first, but goes in the back to prepare you a plate. Oh, here, I'll move your token over to one of these chairs. Comes back, sets your plate down.
So what, I see, one of you is missing, but it's okay. What does the day have in store for all of you?
I think we
We're
better
going
ask.
to the art court.
Oh, the Autumn Court. Well, that's quite a ways away, isn't it? quite
I have no
reasonable,
idea.
yeah.
Never been.
I'll look to Jeatz and be like, how long is your way to the Autumn Court?
How long's the way to the Autumn Court? A few days.
Several days travel. We're talking the court.
Yeah.
Court. Several days travel.
Yeah.
Probably 4 even to get to the border, let alone to the.
I
actual court.
look back at Horace and say, it's around a week's travel to get to our destination.
Oh, curious. What is it?
And you see Cardigan looks over at Flumph, and says,
Oh, why do you even bring that up? That's so strange. Oh, Fluff, you're such a silly goat.
but you see Cardigan stops and says,
No. Oh, that's interesting. Tell me, Flumph says they had a weird dream last night. Because I shouldn't think anything of it.
and you see
Do
Cardigan.
I roll a check to see if I saw Flumph naked in the dream as well?
Yeah, give me a retroactive perception check to see if you saw naked Flumph.
That is
Roll
a
that 20.
18.
God damn it.
Maybe. It's very possible
I,
Flumph could have been there.
Can I roll for curvature?
On Flumph? Come on.
Yeah, can I roll-
Flumph
can
is
I
just
roll
like
a-
a little disc with fucking
So he's got
legs.
some curves. Got it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you don't have to roll for Flumph's curvature. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god.
We know what you're saying. It's up.
I think that I don't bring up the dream specifically because I looked different in it,
Yeah, that's fine.
and I don't want to point that out.
Sure.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. It was me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to. You see Flumph floats off, and Flumph
I don't wanna bring it
knocks, on your door, Ka. Not that you know that it's Flumph, but you hear a strong knocking on your door.
Multiple tentacles tapping on the door.
I'll actually go with Flumph to get Ka.
Oh, you don't know that's what Flumph is doing. Flumph does not communicate
Yeah, right.
in language.
I wasn't
but you see
saying-
Flumph going.
I
in the
was
door.
also planning on going in there to get Ka, so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I separately go to get Ka.
All right. So that we'll leave Horace and Almyre alone. We'll move on to Jeatz going down the hall with Flumph knocking on the door. Jeatz, you see Flumph knocking on the door. But between the two of you, what the hell's going on? What the hell's is going on?
I think I walk up and I knock on the door, and I give Flumph a we'll be out in a moment, kind of like I'll bring him to breakfast kind of thing, so he doesn't hang around.
You see Flumph gives like a kind of kind of expression, as much as you can with tentacles and eye stalks, and Flumph floats back down the hallway.
I knock on the door, and I just say, I don't think I heard what Shoda's real name was.
No.
So I go,
don't think so.
Shoda, or I guess that's not your name, but it's Jeatz. Can I come in?
Goes up to the door and opens it and is just waking up and says, Jeatz, yes, I thought with the mini taps that was a Flumph.
It was, but he had similar thoughts to what I was doing. But there's breakfast out there, but I'd like to I'd like to talk to you for a second, just before we go out there.
Okay, that's fine, man. And I'm sorry, I don't think I got the chance to properly introduce myself yesterday. I'm Ka.
I reach my hand out to. Well, I guess I don't reach out my hand because it's like I just do my normal bow arm gesture, and I go, well, I guess I should properly introduce myself then, and I change back into an Eladrin and introduce myself as Jeatz Loreaux.
Change back into what did you look like before?
Not my standard false appearance.
Oh, okay.
I've looked like a random dude on the street for a
Just
while.
a random dude. Okay.
Oh, so now you look like an Eladrin. Is that what you're saying?
Now I look like my standard, like this is what I hide as.
Okay.
And maybe I do that, and then I take it one step farther. No, I don't think I show my true appearance. I don't think I do that. I think I just shift back to the Eladrin look that I typically host. And,
okay.
Mhm.
And I smile towards Ka.
Okay, so you definitely see a big smile come across Ka's face, and they're like, "Well met, Jeatz. I honestly had no idea. This is news to me."
And I look back at and I'm sorry for leaving last night, but as I'm sure you may know that this is strange. This is not something I thought. I've always been told like we were the only ones, like my family and I, and this is, I don't know.
Ka steps forward, and it's like the world is a beautiful place full of many people and many things. Jeatz, you're never alone, and you're never the only one.
I have so many questions, and I know I can't ask them all now, but I guess the one that I guess I need to know now is are there others? Like, how did this come to be?
Does I don't know if Ka knows the answer to this. Can I roll a history check and see?
Yeah, Ka, go ahead and give me roll me a history check.
Oh, they're stupid. They got a 7.
A 7. Ka. Some deep-seated memory, and we'll say your backstory kind of informs this, that your memory is kind of splintered in a way that you're not sure what's real and what isn't real, given how you hide yourself. It's entirely possible that you came from a society of changelings. It's also entirely possible that you came from a society of goblins and just found your way here, and somehow had this unique ability to change. You're unsure because you don't even know where your life truly began.
Like, I honestly don't know, Jeatz. I've met other changelings in the past, but I don't know where we come from. I don't know where I come from. Maybe our travels will enlighten us.
Well, maybe it's more than just luck that we've crossed paths. And I just give him a nod and say, "Come, let's get some breakfast." And I walk back out without changing back to my other form, and I walk up to Horace.
Jeatz, you now look like the Eladrin in your token. Am I understanding that correctly? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you look different, despite your token not changing. You look different to
Correct.
Horace and Almyre. Okay.
Yeah. And I walk up to Horace and Almyre. God, now I'm going to question myself every time. Almyre, and I go, just as Ka has been hiding their true facade, I too have been hiding mine, and I think it is best to trust in within you all this knowledge, and I request that it stays with this room. But I too have the ability to change my facade. I will be honest with you. This is not my true form either, but this is the form that the world knows me as. And so it is as home to me as it is to anyone else. So
It's like when he like walked up at this time, like eating breakfast, finishing a cup of coffee, and I like put it down. As I know, I see like kind of hear him walk up, and I see him like kind of spit my coffee out of my mouth. What the? And I'll look at Almyre after he says that, like, now if you have another look, you better show us now, or I'm gonna flip out.
Almyre then changes to an Eladrin. No, just kidding.
Almyre's already an Eladrin. You don't have to worry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Almyre just like puts a sheet in front of her face and then is like, "I changed."
Yeats, or Jeatz. So I appreciate you just telling the
Of course.
truth. And it makes me a little bit more comfortable going to the other courts, knowing I'm going with people who aren't, I guess, hiding, or people who are hiding a little bit less from.
Horace, you might as well throw Jeatz up against the wall for good measure, though.
You're right. I grabbed and I pinned it against the wall.
I dodged. Can we do the thing again?
Yeah, Horace, give me an athletics check. Jeatz, give me athletics or acrobatics, whichever's better for you. For the grapple.
Grab the wrong one. That is a... What am I doing? Athletics?
Yep, athletics for Horace.
athletics.
21.
Damn, I got an 11. This time you actually get me, as opposed to the first time we met.
Yeah, Horace, you jokingly throw Jeatz up against the wall, maybe a little harder than you were intending with a 21. But Jeatz, you're not able to wriggle away. But Horace, as you put your hands against Jeatz, it like meets real flesh. Like this is probably who Jeatz has been the longest. So like, you don't know anything about changelings, but I guess for the purpose of explaining how it works, the form that you are the longest is what your body takes shape as. You know, you can sort of inform, how your bones are and how your skin is, how the sinew, moves underneath the skin, tendons and muscles and all that. Whoever you are as the longest is then actual form, and it's more illusion magic to change your appearances outward. So if someone touches you, it's a lot easier to know, what their true form is. But as you, hold Jeatz up against the wall, even jokingly in this moment, you meet true skin.
I'll jokingly, like, kind of fake punch him in the gut. I'm like, I was going on easy on you in card games, so you better watch out next time we play. We're playing for actual money.
I think that
Or
Cardigan
favor.
Backyardigan hasn't been out here this whole time, right?
No, Cardigan's still in the kitchen.
Okay, I think that after I reveal that, I change back to my like random dude appearance because it's not like a common thing I want people to know. So and then I just kind of look over to Flump and just kind of give him a like a comment,
Flump winks with one eye stalk.
Yeah.
Immediately tells Cardigan.
Flump is my fucking dude. Okay.
All right. And you see Cardigan coming back behind the bar and says, you should grab some more breakfast. And you see Cardigan go back and grab a few more plates pretty quickly and brings them back and sets them on the bar. Please eat up. And then goes back in the kitchen and she leaves a few plates on the bar over here for you all. All right, so it's about time to leave the inn. It's late morning, so where you all headed? And I will say that you've got a few choices here. You can take the Jeatz option where you basically escort Horace to the Autumn Court. That's going to have, its own little adventure. But then also, and I will ask you, Horace, go ahead and roll me We'll say a insight check with advantage.
While I do that, is favor like it gonna be harder to get than you would normally get gold in a campaign? Is it, I guess, worth more than what gold would be?
A little bit, yeah. You can't like loot dead bodies for favor, but also as a DM, you know, even if you were looting dead bodies, I'd be like, okay, roll me a d4 for how much gold you have on them. So in terms of acquiring it, I will give you as like over 10 sessions, you will get as much gold as you would favor, basically. So it'll be more infrequent, but in greater quantities, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yep. Is that insight?
Yeah, insight with advantage, or history, honestly.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So, Horace, as you're thinking, and you guys have not discussed this dream at all, but Horace, as you're sitting there thinking about this dream and about what you experienced in the cave, you're thinking to yourself, you spent, you know, quite a lot of time in the Spring Court, and there is an archivist there that might be able to help with this quest, but you're at odds with yourself in this moment because you either go along with Jeatz to fulfill your promise, or this dream that you had, which is sort of like this existential calling to save the world that you're in. And in the Spring Court, there is perhaps an archivist that could help you with the latter.
It's not really welcome there. So, I guess maybe I'll keep that in the back of my head. Like, okay, depending on what happens here, I'll go back and find out more about this dream. Yeah. But kind of made a promise, so you go to the
Sure. All right, so Horace, you're keeping your mouth shut about this thing in particular. The rest of you all, I assume, you know, none of you are talking about the dream. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah.
All right, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. In which case,
what if we just ignore every dream?
It's well, you may. But that said, I guess it's late morning. You know, you guys have eaten breakfast. You know, it's kind of that time where you need to check out of your room, as it were. Are you all going to head out to the Autumn Courts, seemingly having made a pact? Weirdly enough, the three of you have made a pact to escort a single person to the Autumn Court.
Is there like a shop in town? I don't know if we did get some.
So there's not a blacksmith in town, but you do recall Genevieve being a herbalist, an apothecary, as it were. So, you know, if you want to try and find her, she may be not so nonchalantly putting her out in the middle of the courtyard here. If you want to come across her, you might find that she has some things to offer you, considering you guys lack a healer.
I'll leave like 3 favor at the inn.
Yeah, brilliant.
I also look at Horace and go, "Hey, Horace, those items you got in the cave, did you ever figure out what those were?"
Oh yes, I didn't. But if y'all want to take a look at it and see if you can figure out what they are. So I'll take out the vial I found and gloves.
Sure. Sure. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, or Almyre, if you want to use Identify, if you care.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
All right.
Can you describe the gloves again?
Yeah, so they're just ornate leather gloves, and they have what appears to be a waterfall that turns into the branches of a tree on the back of them. Otherwise, they're just leather gloves that seem to fit whatever hand you put in them. And these gloves in particular, Almyre, as you cast Identify, as I assume you do, are gloves of swimming and climbing. And I will read you the description here. While wearing these gloves, climbing and swimming does not cost you extra movement, and you gain a +5 bonus to athletics checks made to climb or swim. They do require attunement, so whoever wants to take them, you can add them into your inventory. But, Sean, in the inventory thing, if you want to change those to gloves of swimming and climbing, you may.
Would anyone, I guess, prefer to have these gloves?
Gloves of instant kill and climbing.
No. Almyre, you are casting Identify on the second thing, which is a small vial on a silver chain. This is a vial of dust. You have appeared... Jesus Christ. You have identified this as Dust of Disappearance. Which... Each creature and object within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes.
Oh.
What is each creature what?
Each creature and object within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes. This is Dust of Disappearance.
Dust in the wind. Is that a one-time use or multiple?
Yes, one-time use.
Okay.
I'm
And
gonna
as
hand-
the...
I want to hand the vial to Ka. And I guess I'll put the gloves in the middle for anyone to take.
I almost think as a changeling, Ka probably could get by without the vial because they could transform into something else.
Yeah, I was just thinking as a, I don't know, sneak attack damage. I'm not sure if that'd be good, being able to be invisible.
That's true.
Unless somebody else has a use for that ability.
I'll take the invisibility if nobody else wants it.
Do you know what?
That's fine. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so let's move that to you. Jeatz. And then who would want the gloves of swimming and climbing?
+5 to athletics for climbing and swimming. So whoever has shit strength score right now.
That does sound quite unique, doesn't it?
They are very pretty gloves.
Oh, Myra, would you like them?
I never say no to new fashion.
Well, then here you go. Wear them well.
Woo!
All right. So, you guys collect yourselves and your things and are leaving the inn. And you see Genevieve sitting very quietly by the fountains, just puttering away. This very quiet waterfall, very meditative space. And as you move over to Genevieve, you see Chancellor Smith bust out of his house and say, "Hello, yes. Well, good to see you. Good morning, Genevieve. Pleasure to see you. What did we learn about the Dryads? They're not going to attack us again, are they? You have saved this village. Yes, please. Maybe, yes.
I think we've stopped them for now, yes.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's very good. We are forever in your debt. Genevieve, aren't we forever in your debt? And she's, yes. And pulls out 3 vials in between her fingers and hands them over to Chancellor Smith. And Chancellor Smith says, "As a token of our gratitude, we grant you these
What are they again, Genevieve?
Healing potions.
Yes, these healing potions. Thank you very much. Just, do we know that the Dryads are actually gone for good? We've had enough troubles on our own, but it'd be nice to have some insurance, perhaps. Can you insure us of anything, perhaps?
You see Chancellor
I'm
Smith,
not going to 100%
takes
ensure you that the Dryads are gone, but I think they're good for a while. But I'm not going to make that promise to you.
You see Chancellor Smith narrows his eyes at you.
Horace, you're a trustworthy fellow, being a knight of the Petal Guard and all, but okay, I suppose I can trust you that much.
And he hands the 3 vials to you. These are 3 more potions of healing. He looks over to you, Con, and says,
Who is this new and down? Perhaps a friend of Sir Horace?
Yes, just a long-lost friend of Sir Horace.
You're always welcome here at Widdershins. Yeah, thank you again, Genevieve.
and you see Chancellor Smith walks off into his cabin.
After Chancellor Smith walks off, I look over at Ka, and in the exact same voice as the Chancellor just said, I just look at Ka and go, "You're always welcome here at Widdershins."
Genevieve perks up and looks over at you and says, "Uncanny." And goes back to staring at the fountain.
Horace turns him out around for a moment, thinking he saw the Chancellor go inside, but was like, "What the?"
Horace, I am your father.
Dad?
All right.
And Ka's going to step up to Genevieve and say, I don't know the governing style in Widdershins, but run against this man if you have elections. You're much better than him.
Or come with us.
Honestly, I already run this place.
Yes, do it from, secret and, all the blame for anything goes wrong.
Yes,
Not on you.
They all hate him, and I can do whatever I want. I tried to do good by this town, don't get me wrong. But he's been Chancellor since as long as this place has been here. And you see she kind of trails off wherever it was before. But yes, I try to do right by these people.
Do you have any knowledge of what this town was like before? Or where it was?
Before what? It's always been. And you see, she thinks a moment. I guess it was somewhere else that wasn't here. But it's so hard to remember. I remember being a young girl and seeing fields stretch out for miles, but that's all I seem to be able to conjure. This place it wasn't always here. Next to this river, next to this forest, it didn't. I can't make sense of it. My memories seem to conflict, and I don't know which one to trust. But that's the wild for you. Things don't make sense.
Well, I hope we can one day help reveal these secrets. And I guess find out where you came from.
I hope so too. I call this place home, but it doesn't quite feel like it.
I guess, do you have any other potions or anything else that might be useful on a journey?
Oh, yes, now that Chancellor Smith is gone, I can drop the act. Of course, yes, I've got a few things I can help with. And she's got a large pack next to her on the bench that she turns over and says, well, I've got this, but no, that's not quite finished. But how about this? And she pulls out a potion of heroism. And she's just holding it over her shoulder as she's going through the pack with her other hand. And she says, yes, and how about this? A scroll of... what's the spell? Expeditious Retreat.
Fireball?
Jesus Christ. No, I had it in my notes and I had it in my mind. A scroll of Expeditious Retreat.
What does the push on the heroism do?
It is. Let me look it up. Potion of Heroism. For 1 hour after drinking it, you gain 10 temporary hit points that last for that hour. For the same duration, you were under the effect of Bless. No concentration required. But it's only one person. And Bless is a D4 to attack rolls and saving throws. So 10 temp HP and an add a D4 to attack rolls and saving throws for an hour, basically.
How much favor for each?
Oh, don't worry. You saved the village from Dryads. Don't worry about it.
I have to give you something.
Consider it my gift. If anything, if I could get my memory back, quite honestly. But I won't hold you to it. I just want to know what was before. That's all.
Well, if we can learn any more, we'll definitely find out. That's the least we can do.
She winks at you and says, Scout's honor.
Hold my fingers up.
She holds her fingers up back at you. What? That felt weird. What did that? What? All right.
I don't even know where that came from either. That was weird.
So,
Almyre leans over to Jeatz and is like, "What's a scout?"
It's a scalp?
Scout.
Oh, it's someone who goes out and looks ahead, or I've heard tales of small children who play in the woods.
Interesting.
That's what scouts are. Children who play in the woods.
All right. So, with that, Genevieve goes back to looking at the fountain, kind of pondering things. And you see, she pulls out a small notebook of hers and starts writing things down. As an apothecary, she's always got ideas running through her head. But, she's kind of is ignoring you guys at this point. So, as you're standing in the center of town, you see a fellow, the same fellow from yesterday, tried to cross the bridge again. And as he crosses the bridge, you see he looks down again. It seems to be having an altercation with the water. And then this watery hand picks him up and throws him back into the middle of the village. And he says, Oh, pesky me. I was just trying to cross the bridge without giving an offering. But, I just was being stingy again. Each one of these days I keep thinking she'll let me pass, but she doesn't. Tally-ho. And he gets up on the bridge again and drops a little something into the water, and on he goes. Crossing into the woods.
Is that the direction we need to go?
No, across the bridge is the spring court. You all need to go back towards Horace's cabin to go towards the autumn court.
Lefties?
Yes, lefties is the autumn court. Righties is the spring court.
All right, I look around at everyone and just say, well, I think it's time we be off.
I'll just start walking. Follow him.
Alrighty. You all start heading to the autumn court, which is lefties. And I guess let me give me just a minute to think about how this is going to work map wise. I suppose if you guys are moving, there is Horace's cabin, north of that. there is Moss Hollow. But let me pull up the map that I sent you guys, and it's been a minute, but I will see if I can't pull it in here just to sort of map out where you guys might be heading. All right, D&D, Feywild campaign. There we go. Maps and Witterson's area. All right. So I will just pull this in here as a token and delete it after the fact. But basically, you guys are looking at sort of this deal here. So you guys are presently in Wittershens, and a little upseas is Horace's house, and a little beyond that is Moss Hollow, right? So if you guys want to head directly lefties, you'd run into the Drury Docks, but you kind of have to go around Loch Lorema in order to get to where you're going. But anyway, you guys are traveling that way, and it doesn't take you long to get to Moss Hollow. It definitely doesn't even take you a day to get through Loch Lorema. But everyone, give me a survival check as you're trying to navigate the wild. And honestly, I guess I'm glad none of you took proficiency in survival, because it's going to make shit like this a lot more interesting when I ask for a survival check for everyone.
16.
21.
All right.
6.
All right.
8.
21.
So, Horace, you know this area around your house particularly well. Honestly, I should have just had you roll with advantage. You maybe lose your way a little bit, but you do find yourself at a fork in the road. You could go back by Moss Hollow, which could present a threat of its own, or you could move a little closer to Loch Lorema. The forest is a little too thick to kind of cut in between both of them, but there would be enough room for a footpath, again, going towards Moss Hollow or going back towards Loch Lorema. So which way would you like to take the party?
So you heard about Loch Lorema?
It's interesting you say that. So Shota and Jeatz, give me nature checks. Or history, whichever's better for you.
So
I think they might be the same ability.
To roll 20.
All right.
8.
Okay. Kyle, perhaps you're a little more focused on survival than taking in your surroundings, and especially maybe perhaps Shota distracted you on the path. But Jeatz, you did take your time to get here. You were dropped off at the edge of the spring court after all, and it took you several days to get here to the edge of Wittershens. And you do recall this rock formation, which you now know to be Moss Hollow, and not far away from it was Loch Lorema. Now, Moss Hollow in of itself did not present itself a threat. It's sort of just like this natural formation. But you recall going to Loch Lorema just to take a rest. Lakes are rather peaceful. But you remember going to the lake, and in the very center of this lake is a small island. And as the day was winding down, you remember hearing this ominous singing, almost like a siren song coming from the center of the lake. Now, the lake is a little too large that you couldn't quite see across the water, but it did, again, feel ominous.
I convey that and say maybe it's better if we take the long road for now and pass back the way that we have come through the hollow and around the lake.
I'm your bounty, so I'll follow.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are going to take the extra time to go towards Moss Hollow then?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so I will go ahead and have you guys go ahead and roll me a travel check, which is just a D100.
Ooh.
Lower
Everybody
is-
or just one?
No, just one, just a single one.
Okay.
Austin
this is
seems
our first
excited to go ahead and do
travel
it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'd have to get my dice.
Okay, I've got it out if that helps.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Jeatz.
That's a 59.
All right, at 59, nothing happens. A large majority of this table, 75%, means that nothing happens, but honestly, that might be a good thing in some cases. So we'll take this travel day as nothing happens, but as you're not far past Moss Hollow, you see a few puddles of oil. And I say puddles, not just drops. As you are venturing through the forest, the day is kind of winding down. It's the end of your first day. These puddles of oil, wait, they're not drops, they're puddles. They're just kind of as incongruous. And you are marching along just a little bit, and in a small clearing, you see a much larger version of two boggles, and you see them talking to one another, and you hear them saying,
"Oh, they killed our brother. We gotta get revenge, right? Right. Lady Lorraine gave us this power. We gotta get revenge, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We gotta get revenge. We're gonna tear that village down."
and that's where we'll end our session.
Lit.
Where's that?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have stumbled upon Unger and Mud, whose brother Kunk that you killed. Feywild be doing some crazy shit. That is true. That is true.
We're gonna kill all boggles.
Kill all boggles. Cab. Yes, cab. One letter away from my favorite phrase.
Haha.
All right, that's where we'll end the stream. All right, so let's do a little digestion.